hits hard because, you know, I've been around racing since I was a baby, and I've been around racing since I was a wee little baby, watching my dad race and him be a pit crew and him being crew chief. And I started racing in 2020, and I worked my way up from flat cart go-karts to outlaw cage kart to vintage Silver Crown car, Black Betty, that's her name, and next year being sprint cars. I've seen it all. You know, I've seen my dad go through the emotions of crying for my very first win, happy, mad, angry, confused, concerned. I mean, I've had to avoid a couple of rocks sometimes, and he'll point his head, use my head, and settle down. Like for hand signals, this means use your head. This means it's okay, settle down. This means we're on the top. This means we're on the bottom. You know, this means we're on the middle, like middle. Do the middle in his stomach, but he'll tell me all that, and he'll do thumbs up or good job or anything like that. And he's taught me a lot, and I've seen a lot of different emotions from him. And so with me racing my dad, you know, to me, this means a lot, because I know you and your daughter racing, that's respect. That's badass. It's the same way for me and my dad. We both race. We've both been on the big track the same time. We race against each other, and I've always told him I'm going to beat him one of these days. And he's like, boy, the day I retire, you're never going to beat me. And I'm like, I'm getting close, fat man. I'm getting close. And I can say this, anyone that has their kids, daughters, sons, any of your kids that race, you know, that's awesome. You're there for them, you're supporting them, and you're showing them that they can do it. At the very first start of racing, they're not going to be Kyle Larson. They're not going to be Jeff Gordon. They're not going to be Dale Earnhardt. They're not going to be Steve Kinser, Sammy Swindell, you know, all that stuff. You know, you got to start small, work your way up, and you'll get there. It takes time and patience. One of my buddies, you know, he runs a stock car, and he's been having some issues. You know, it's not the car's problem. He's had some issues where he's like, man, I suck, and this and that. I'm like, hold on, pump the brakes, buddy. What's going on? What's going through your head? He's like, man, every time I race, I spin out. Every time I race, I get taken on. I said, well, that's part of racing, buddy. He's like, I've had to rebuild the body, I don't know how many times. I said, man, I've just, you know, it's a stupid car. And I said, hold on, buddy. You don't suck. I've raced against you and your twin brother before in go-karts, and both flats and cage karts. I said, your mom's is worried every time we race because we know how fast we can go. I said, you're not a bad driver. I said, it takes time, finesse, and patience, and you'll get there. I said, it's a brand new car. It's a whole lot bigger motor. I said, you'll get there. It takes time, patience, and finesse. You will get there. You just need seat time and laps. He's like, man, but I want to race. I said, buddy, I will tell you this right now. Don't skip a race. Don't. I said, you can physically get there. It takes time. You can win a race. You can get better. You can top 5, top 10, whatever it is. You can get there. It takes time and patience and finesse. You can get there. You just have to believe in yourself and put the work in. No matter what, put the work in, and everything will be all right. Trust me, it will. And I've told him this, and I said, don't make me hunt you down and then kick your ass and be like, dude, you're not going to quit racing. Racing's in your blood. You're a racer, you love it, and you're having fun. Don't let one car ruin your whole career because it's not the same. Every car is different. Every track is different. Nothing is going to be the same. Nothing. If you say, oh, my car's like this, and you put the same setup in a different car, is it going to work? You never know. Every car is different. Every track is different. The dirt layout, the track build, clay, mud, no matter what it is, the tracks are always different. Remember that. Every car is different. Every track is different. If you run dirt, the dirt's not going to stay the same. If you run pavement, the pavement won't be the same because it's different. Every time you go on that track, you're constantly learning, studying, memorizing the track layout, how the car is going to feel, how the car is going to set up, how the car is going to drive, and how you can change little details. You can change your car setup all you want. You know, tire pressure, fuel, motors, just whatever it is you do. You can change all that stuff all you want. But in the process of changing the car a whole bunch, the driver's got to change as well. And this is what I mean by that. You change the car setup, and you got to change your driver. What I mean by that is the driver has to physically and mentally and remember when the car is changing, so does the driving style. If you're going for a heavy lockdown track, you gotta gas it up. If you're in a muddy, heavy, wet, soaked track, you can gas it up all you want. That's great. But when the track turns to dry, slick, then you gotta change your whole driving style. You know, you can't floor it on a dry, slick track. You gotta pedal it. You gotta pedal it, make the car dance. You know, make sure that when you're on a restart on a dry, slick track, you don't floor it, you roll into the throttle. That way when you floor it, you're just going to spin the tires and kill your speed in the corner. You roll into it. And that's what I mean by you can change the track, you can change the car setup all you want. All you want. You can change anything to a car setup. But the driver has to do the same thing. Their driving style, they're remembering everything, their driving style, how they're going to drive the track, how they're going to drive the car, throttle control, car control, you know, everything. In order to change the car, you got to change your driving style. Most kids out there, or most drivers, go out there and send it like they know what they're doing. No, I've seen that. No, in order to get a hold of a car, you physically have to change your driving style. After you change the car, you change the car up, you can change your driving style. And I don't mean a complete rewrite the whole book of driving style. I mean little details. Little details can go so far for a driver. You can learn so much through the steps and the patience and the finesse as a driver. And that's why I think, you know, people who've done racing and been around racing, if your kids are going into racing, if it's go-karts, quarter midgets, whatever it is, to start off with the basics, the first thing you do is ask questions. To everyone, team owners, drivers, crew chiefs, you know, all that stuff. Don't be ashamed to ask questions. And I've always been told this, and I've always tell people this. I said, I'm a person of asking questions. If I ask questions about racing circuit or the track or the layout or anything like that, you have to soak up the knowledge. Asking questions is not a bad thing. You gotta have a driver's mindset has to be a sponge. It has to soak up the knowledge of the card setup, track layout, tracks changing, driver setup, drivers changing, everything. And the advice you can learn, the amount of advice you can learn from the veterans or the legend drivers, anything like that, you can learn so much. And you can soak up that knowledge and put it towards the car. And even put it towards yourself as a driver. People can do it. Drivers can do it. People say, oh, it's super easy. No, it's not easy. It's a mental and physical game and a mental and physical sport to get there. If anyone wants this advice, take it. Share this video, like it, comment, repost it, you name it. But everything I say is true. Change your car, you gotta change your style. Track's always changing, so you're always changing. So take my advice and learn from this, and you will get there. Trust me. If I can, anyone can. It just takes time. So y'all have a good day. Later, y'all.